Hello everyone! Now, I know it's been a few days since I uploaded a video, which was of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. But now, after several months of waiting, finally, the game that I've been long waiting to play has come out. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, or TSPUD. I honestly think it's kind of a nice acronym. TSPUD. Now, while it's not completely about potatoes, I will say that it is about whether or not you can make a choice. Whether or not the choice is taken from you. You will play as Stanley. You will not play as Stanley. And everything in between, up and down, all around, backwards, forwards, everywhere, will be mixed in with chaotic and interesting results. But that is such the way of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, I know next to nothing about this game, but what I do know is it is a game about choice. Now, I want to preface by saying, there are two games now that I know of which leave the player up to making their own choice. That is Undertale and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, I'm honestly a little nervous about uploading this because I tend to worry about what others think of the choices that I make. But, well, that used to be me. But now I realize that's the point of some games. Even if you make a choice that's good or bad or in between, it's still a choice that you made and not a choice that someone else told you that you should make. So, if anyone who is watching is the kind of person who would judge others for a choice they make, I simply advise that you don't. Because each game is made to be played every player's own different way. And considering this game was mostly about choice, I think it's important I point that out. So, without further ado, let us begin the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This game contains the original Stanley Parable and a prequel, I think it was. So let's see what this game has to offer. Developed by Crows. Interesting name. Interesting. Nope. Okay. Kind of an interesting start. Oh, that's so meta. You are playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe while sitting in an office playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe while sitting in an office playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Oh, that's nuts. This is exactly the kind of game you think it is. It even affects the fucking... Wow. The end is never the end, is never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I'd like to point out that 4/27 is also April 27th, the day the game came out.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, the story I'm really liking so far, because I could almost feel the absolute emotion and immersion and environment dripping from every single word of this dialogue. I can almost feel how Stanley would not be able to move for the longest time before he's like, hey, I should probably do something about this. But yeah, 4/27, is actually also a reference to April 27th, the day the game came out. Well, the Ultra Deluxe. I'm trying to, like, I would have thought the clock would have marked the same time my clock was, but I don't know why I asked what time it was. Locked. So everyone's gone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's possible.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It's like they all just... Can I zoom in or something? Oh. No. No, shit. No, I wanted to take a closer look at that. They were doing something. Well, if... I hate Mondays. Can't have an office setting without a mug that says you hate Mondays. Number 1 dad. Some of the light fixtures are out too. These are some very old monitors too. Be my Valentine. Gnome access. Yeah, everyone's just gone. Someone knocked over this, Hey, 420! Got any Mary Jane in there? For those who don't know, Mary Jane is a nickname for marijuana. I don't know why 420 is... That's a very beautiful picture. I don't know why 420 is associated with marijuana, but it is. Whoa, wait a minute.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I see what you're trying to do here. I could either obey, or I could disobey. Well, I do want to find out what happened to everyone. Or do I want to be a naughty boy? For this round, let's be obedient. You hear that click? That means we're locked inside. These are some marvelous pictures. Oh, look at that one.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworker. Oh. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure that your slide has a thick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will include... Everyone is unique. You most of all. Oh, this game. Number of slides on the slide. Slides. Charts on the slide. Oh, this is fantastic. Rate it which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please no more charts, please, I'm begging, stop. The boss appreciates you minute. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out and triplicate and return to your... If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee, like yourself, but more inclined to a conflict than... This is starting to make my brain hurt. What are your dreams for the future? A boat. No, with no expectation of promotion or recognition, don't get fired. Talk less. It's funny because that's what our character does. They talk less. Synergize core value expenditures, shift global market parade, monetize free to play. Huh. Yeah, all that made my brain hurt a bit. You know, it's funny that we humans say that, because our brain doesn't actually feel anything. Doesn't have any nerves,
Stanley
I don't
stepped
think.
into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Everything I do, they have something to comment on.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I left.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, dude. This is amazing. Just the subtlety of choice. Hello? Big boss man? Whoa. This is... I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Extreme bathrooms. Oh, this game is delightful. Hey, boss. Is you around here?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, totally. 2845. The amount of meta.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Oh, that keypad. 2 8
2845.
Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? Like, I know why, but actual why.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Oh yeah,
He stepped
sheer
into
luck.
the newly opened passageway.
What the I'm sorry, what? Oh my god, this is like Superliminal all over again, where you see that everything set up is not real and it's just like a bunch of props and stuff. Although maybe it's not quite that. That's an elevator. What? The fuck? I guess this is the sound of me trying to interact with things. What in the hell?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
That is a good question, isn't it? Oh, now I'm getting Portal vibes. Oh god. Are we about to come face to face with an angry turret?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What? What in the hell? What is going on here?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What in the hell? This goes beyond anything I was expecting.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fired? Fired. What? That's mine in the center there. $596 people. No, 600 of them. Maybe 601. Well, there's less than 600 because some got fired. This is absolutely bonkers!
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Presumably.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own
Pirate?
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
There's no saving. There's no do-overs. If I hit any wrong button, this is all going to be console disabled. Two. 1, 2. Mind controls idle awaiting input. I mean, pressing buttons is Stanley's thing. So, is it truly any different from what he did at his job? Different button pushing sounds. Activate power cells. I mean, if I push that big red button, I'm pretty sure it's gonna turn the whole thing back on. And if that's the case, what's gonna happen to me? I guess there's only one way to know. Oh, I can't even press it. This is nuts. Who in the world would run an operation like this? Oh, it's like that scene from The Incredibles. It's the password Kronos.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah, we ain't doing this mind control thing no more. Did I do good? Did I do bad?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well then, that was... Dude, the narration of this game is spot on. It really makes me feel every emotion. And here we are, back at the start again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Dude. Dude, that is nuts. I really want to go out there. So this time, I am going to go through the left door, but I want to go down.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I didn't. I went downstairs. Is that something? I can't read that. Can't read that at all.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
They
Stanley
are
is
repeating
as
themselves.
awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay, now I'm starting to get creeped out. Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real.
Oh,
I must
okay,
be.
okay.
Hear my voice. Who am I?
Oh my God.
And everything went black.
Oh God, okay.
This
Existential
is the
crisis?
story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
What?
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What in the hell? That was... Wow, okay, so we just freaked out and died. And here we are again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Dude, this game is incredible. Like, I guess I was supposed to be walking while the narrator was talking, and then I figured out what he meant by the dream or the rooms repeating themselves. He was trapped in this endless loop, like this endless nightmare of a loop.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I love how the game would expect you to do this kind of thing. It'd be like, wow, this seems like a really nice place to hang out.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
The game knows, guys. The game knows.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
More choices. See, the nice thing to do is you take the first path, you complete the first path, you move on to the path past that.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Or did I? No, I didn't.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
Damn right.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Even the narrator's not sure anymore because of just how disobedient we're being. It's amazing.
Oh, no. No, it's
Oh,
to the
what
right,
the
my
fuck?
mistake.
Oh, this is incredible. Okay, we're going right.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh, this is... rustling
Let's
papers.
see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
With the, vehicle? Why is there a vehicle even down here? It definitely looks small enough to fit in a doorway. So maybe there's something designed for it. Oh, we're back here.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay, the amount of fourth wall breaking that this game does is marvelous.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, are all these considered endings every time it leads to a game restart? What in the fuck? Wait a minute. Something isn't right. Weren't there only 2 doors here last time?
When Stanley... Wait.
What?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
What?
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Oh, I am loving this.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Yeah, it's an adventure. Why are those chairs blocking the way? Let's go through this door. What in the... What? Oh my god, it's like the back rooms. It's just like the back rooms. Oh my god. The back rooms
I'll
were...
say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
So for those who don't know, the backrooms are like an urban online creepypasta of how if you somehow manage to clip through reality, you'll end up in this room with yellowish carpets, the humming buzz of fluorescent lighting, and an entity that you really do not want to look at.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is amazing. And you know what's better?
Okay,
What the
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Oh. So, there is a prequel before this. I guess I just haven't found the extra content door yet.
Aha!
Oh.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way.
What is
and retrace our
happening?
steps.
Please don't let us be... Well, we weren't stuck here. I was half expecting there to be a dead end on the other side, and then we'd just restart again. What is happening?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
No, I didn't.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Boop. Oh.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Line trademark, I love it. Dude, with all the different endings... Man, I was even wanting to, like... Well, I guess if I followed that other door... Like, when he said, let's go to the opposite door, I guess that would have just... Would that have just taken me back? To the other door? I guess I won't know now. So he wants us to go this way. But I'm gonna go this way.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
He's just giving up. Come on. Surely there's something. No? Alright. But are we absolutely positive? Yeah, he's positive. He's just so done with the story. Or with us. What the fuck? That doesn't look right. What if I'm pretty sure this entire building is just a construction. Hey! You guys remember Solitaire on those old-ass computers? I used to play Minesweeper. Oh, no. You want to know what you should remember? 3D Pinball Space Cadet. That is a real throwback, a real classic, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, bless me. 3D Pinball Space Cadet. That is a real nostalgic throwback. I hear you can still get it for Windows 10, maybe even Windows 11. And Minesweeper and Solitaire.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
What?
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
What?
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah. Of course. Of fucking course. It's drowning out my voice. Can we go this way now? No. Oh, this is amazing. I'm loving this. Oh. God, this is so ridiculous. Yeah, it just leads to the same place. Can I not go down there? I guess not. Can you please turn the music off? Okay, now this line isn't even making sense. Can you please turn the music off? Why do we have a filing cabinet of coffee mugs? Oh, that's weird. Wait. Wait a minute, wait a minute. What in the hell? Okay, I'm turning this down some. What in the hell is this? That doesn't make any sense! That makes no sense! And why is the line going all wonky? What the hell? This is very unusual. The line is going out of whack. Oh, now it's going on zigzag. And annual reviews, corporate imbalances, monthly ledgers. I have no idea what is happening anymore. I've been completely thrown off track so much. Wait, what the hell? No, 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 you can't, no, 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 no. Oh my god, no. You can't mess with my head like that. Oh my god. Oh dear lord. That makes no sense! Oh my god, this is bonkers. Okay. Wait. What is happening? Oh, this is messing with my head so much. Okay. It seems that everything appears to be fine now.
Wait, cut the music.
Thank you.
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Sure. I'll happily look at this fern for you. I'm glad the music stopped. That was getting a little weird. Wait a minute.
Wait, what? We're back
Wait.
at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Hey, we at least get to go in there now. What in the hell is happening? Is there anything different about in here?
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Maybe. I just love how this game doesn't take itself too seriously and just completely, like, the game is completely breaking the game, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. This is the kind of game I am destined to enjoy, because the people who make games like this really know a lot about the psyche and how to really mess with your head and really, you know, tap into your emotions and everything. And it's, okay, that's not a pun on the mind control thing, but you know what I mean. Oh, we're back here.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? After we trusted you, after everything we've been through, Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
He's just... he's like, okay. From the top. Scene 12. Take 5. He's not even commenting anymore.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Sure, let's see what's in this direction.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want the story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Oh, that's... oh my god. Oh, that's... oh, the seamless, flawless transition of just... we would have crossed back into the other path. Oh, that's incredible.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It TM. Just don't acknowledge it. Yeah, see, there it goes.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Uh...
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. I liked how the other door, if it had opened, would have led to the same wall, same room. Okay, so that was the confusion ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, what if we continued back to the opposite door?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Look at all this. How expansive can one office get? You had me tempted.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Oops.
I'm not, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of
I
the
actually
story
didn't
and
mean
no
to.
one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left for a
I didn't.
and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I didn't mean to do that. I was like trying to look over.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
I did not mean to fall off.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I don't know how many of you are gonna believe me or not, but I can assure you I actually did not mean to walk off.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
The fact that we were able to cut off the narrator. Danger, danger everywhere. Oh, this game is... I love it. What more can I... Do not stand on this side of the fence. No buckets past this point. What do these signs even mean? Oh, hello.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ooh, that requires a key card. I'm going blue. Blue bucket. Red dolly. Let's go blue bucket.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I'm going through the blue one.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Well, all right.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
So, I feel like if we give him a rating of 5, he's going to be like, really? You're giving this the rating 5 experience. But I'm going to be honest. I'll give it a 5.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98.9% of players. Wow. It's going again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Could have done better without the scoreboard.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Is this gonna start us back at the beginning?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
You might want to turn the volume down for this one. Seriously, you might want to turn the volume down for this one. This is going nowhere.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh, look out here.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
What's that say? This is all supposed to be a reference to Firewatch, I just realized. I don't know if it's a game made by the same people. Let's see, who made Firewatch? Don't tread on me.
Oh, no. No, it can't be.
What?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh. Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh boy, what do you got now?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Well,
okay,
now.
So what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
Pretty sure this is Rocket League. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Rocket League.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh. What the fuck is going on?
Hold on. What are you doing?
Escaping. Whoa!
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, this is amazing. We've driven the guy nuts. Oops. Whoa. This is wild. We actually escaped the narrator. I did not think we could do that. dark and spooky setting feels perfect for, you know, scares. Wait, hold up. No way. No way. It's remarkably similar to The Office. Oh, I am loving this. It really just completely dissects the entire structure of the game. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, there's a light over here. What's all this? Yeah, see, like, without the narrator, everything unravels. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no...
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I'm gonna go back to where I can make another one of those choices. Maybe, like, instead of going through the blue door, I go to the red one.
Incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle. So bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
My wife, you mean? Nothingness. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Really now? Also, the hotel number being 427. Nice.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Alright, fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I think I see what's going on here.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Please, press down to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Well, I guess we got no choice.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
So, something else I can do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I need to
Stanley
go
decided
back
to
to
the
where
meeting.
that
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I need to go back to where that fucking I'm not going in there just yet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So I'm gonna go back to where that main power thing was for the mind control thing.
Books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
It would definitely seem like it.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Well, only one thing to do.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
This time, we're going to hit the on button.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Oh!
Stanley,
Oh,
I
that's
applaud
just...
your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Uh-oh.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me. Where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though.
Alright, where's button 4?
Events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Oh. Okay. That happened. I was trying to see what the monitors are hinting at. I was trying to look for button 4. This is new.
that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. And
What the what?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So, I looked into it. Apparently the countdown ending cannot be changed. The buttons don't do anything. So I'm gonna follow that, sign that reads escape. Also, I have found different endings. This whole time I was thinking I had to come across a giant billboard that would tell us what the ending was. But for the confusion ending, I guess the point of that one being a giant billboard was because there was like a lot of random steps I had to take. Or specific steps. Why are there papers everywhere? This did not happen before. I would have taken notice.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Do I just have to do this enough times? I guess so.
Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Yeah.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
They really think of everything, don't they? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story that he didn't have time to let the narrator talk. Okay, this time we are not going to touch the, thingy. The, button. We're not even going to go into the mind control surveillance room. We're going to follow the escape sign. So these 19 different endings, they're not as hard to get as I thought. I thought for each one I'd have to go through like 50 different steps,
Stanley
but some of them are
walked straight ahead
simpler.
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, I didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
For a second I thought the hallway was going to be still be very short behind me.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Damn right. What do we got? Yep. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
No?
Well, Stanley.
No. No. Oh, God. Oh, God.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal doors. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? Oh. Someone saved me. Wait, was... The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Amazing. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Dude, that is nuts. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Yeah, I can see that. The two doors. The set of the two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Amazing. They really have put a lot of love and thought into this. The office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Achievement unlocked. You can't jump. So, I think the interaction sound, I think that's also the sound of a keyboard being pressed. Very nice touch. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Oh, you can't even read what that says. Kevin Brighting as the incredible narrator. To think, 9 years later, the Stanley Parable comes to Switch in an incredible way. An early version of the maintenance room. So, this is essentially a museum. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Office clock. The lounge. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. An early version of the countdown room. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Game design mockup. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of addition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mockup is still in the game. This is a very cool way to incorporate a museum. Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December of 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are screenshots of the videos we made for the announcement and the game's delay. Wow. The lounge, an early version of the lounge. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading you to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. So what if I didn't pick up the phone then? They did a fantastic job on the design. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Chair! Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought that it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. The game is now paused. Huh. Zending levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they'd pulled. Huh. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go... Oh. Okay, that's just the same thing.
Then he pushed the number 8. Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story. Stanley stood on the snow. Stanley pushed the orange lever. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the Stanley facility to end this injustice. Stanley stood on the snow. Stanley jumped in the river.
Alright, I think I've seen enough.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Let's do it.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Nintendo Switch. There's no other way to
Whoa.
play this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I got squished. Back at the beginning, are we? We are. What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let me in.
Stanley, you need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I think they have the wrong number.
Up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What?
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
For a second, I thought my switch turned off.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Right. He really doesn't want me making any of those dumb choices. Well, dumb in his mind, probably. Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
What the what? Seven 7890. The hell? What in the hell? That's weird.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh. Oh, we're not...
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
Wow.
There's anything in the world that was mine and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
I want to see just how far we can push going to the right.
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay, so it's just gonna repeat like this.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, now the broom closet's locked completely.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Well, this is new.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
Yeah.
He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I can't talk.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I can't.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Um...
the door on his left.
What the hell?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Wow.
Okay, I think we all...
What the what? I figured something would have had to happen if I went far enough. Ooh, what the... You ever wonder if, like, these open doors are... Like in some of those Gmod maps where you go through a door and you find that it leads to nothing. You are now leaving. Escape Pod Bay. Really? 755? 756. Are these referencing the number of flights of stairs or the employee number? Because the employee number went up to 600. Where might this escape pod be? Looks like we're making an escape. What happened? Oh. Oh.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally.
What?
This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So I'll admit I did see the thing for the heaven ending. Apparently I have to restart every time I press this. For first for 419, then 423.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
What? I had no idea he would... Alright. This game really thinks of everything.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Alright, how long before that comes out on iTunes? I'll admit I am kind of looking into how some of these endings are done, because some of these are kind of out of the way in places I would not think to look. But for the majority of the endings, I have indeed found on my own. So I think it's kind of fine at this point. So, was that it? I guess this is one of those endings where I have to, restart myself.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
message scheduled either by you or person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Well then.
Here's the door, just go.
Input received.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
The end is never, the end is never. Oh. Alright, now what? Ah. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. What is going on? Okay, well, apparently this is the heaven ending. And, I guess there's apparently 432 buttons, so it says, for us to push. Again, I don't really mind having to kind of see how to get some of these endings, because they're in ways that I would not have thought of. Obtained in ways, that is.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
it was okay. That's all he says about the lounge.
But there's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What? Really?
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
What might this solution be, good sir?
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It is quite beautiful, isn't it?
No, wait. Where are you going?
Where does this lead?
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
You've taken things from me.
Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Oh, I am. I've thought about it. I want to do it.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
I mean, you are supposed to... I'm gonna be honest, I can't bring myself to do that again. I really can't. I just can't take that from him. Whoa.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
So, I do believe that aside from the Zending, what this one's called, I believe I've gotten all of the endings for this. I've looked at the wiki and I don't see any endings that I have missed. The only one that I don't have noticed that I have not gotten is the game's ending where if I end up failing, hang on, let me. I did the thing where I had to play that minigame with the baby, and if I fail the game, I am taken to a Minecraft lookalike game. I think I did it before, but I somehow did it wrong. But I'm really curious to know just what's behind that extra content door. So we'll